Hey, I'm Almy, and I'm here to present the award for Most Overproduced Song of 2023. Let's see our contenders. At number 1, it's Kira Killer by ZUTOMAYO. The rapping is way too fast, the feature only exists to increase streams, and the folksy guitar is completely unnecessary in a rap rock styled song. It's a perfect contender. Our second nominee, Mirror Tune by ZUTOMAYO. ZUTOMAYO takes an unprecedented second spot on this list with stupid DJ bits and an annoying hook that sat atop 7 contrasting layers of instrumental. Our third nominee, it's Neko Reset by ZUTOMAYO. That's 3. How? The last minute of this song might be the most insanely overproduced moment of the whole thing and ruins what is otherwise a good song. At number 4, it's Hanaichi Monnme by ZUTOMAYO. Are we sure this is the right list? Yeah? We're 100% sure. Good lord. An incredibly dense song that features seemingly every instrument ever invented and that mixes them all together in the sloppiest way possible. They didn't even try to make it sound good. And our final nominee is Time Left, also by ZUTOMAYO. What the f*** are you guys doing? So this is a review of the new ZUTOMAYO album, Jinkougaku. This is a group I've known about for a while, but pretty much all the information I had about their aesthetic and sound kinda turned me away. I actually sat down and gave them a shot with this new album coming out though, and I put album in quotes because 11 of the 13 songs on this were singles. Stop doing that. Yorushika did it too. Don't do that anymore. Anyways, I have mixed feelings on this album, if you couldn't tell. The first song is Hanaichi Monnme, and even though I've already clowned on this song a bit, it is one of the best songs on the album. Despite its issues, it's a pretty fun pop song. The song sets a tone for the rest of the album, with funk touches and the recent J-pop trope of a super loud, strong chorus melody. Which makes sense, as ZUTOMAYO has been one of the artists leading that charge for years. Those core strengths are done pretty well. There's the potential for a great song here. It just never gets realized. The song has a lot of problems. For one, as with a lot of tracks on this album, it's way too busy. There's just far too much going on here. Instruments that sound off are layered on top of other instruments that sound even more off. The mixing on this track especially is just bad. This song was produced to be a super loud cluster, which works on some kinds of music. It does not work here. A lot of these are more generally problems with this whole album though, and not specifically this song. It's got more highs than a lot of other tracks here for sure, and overall, I do enjoy it. Time Left is the second song here. It's kind of similar to the first song, except not as good. This gets rid of a lot of the funk of the first song, replacing it with some piano and like 5 other instruments that are so overlapped I can't even focus in on what they are. This song is just so busy, for no reason. There's a fairly solid Yoasobi type pop song here if they scaled it back, but it is so maximalist to its own detriment. There's also another problem that's going to come up a lot on this album. There doesn't need to be constant vocals. You can do instrumental sections. You can slow down the melodies. The singer is mostly fine on this album, but she doesn't need to be there going 100% on every possible second of this thing. You can relax a little. This song just has too many problems for me to enjoy. How does it have 30 million streams on Spotify? Track 3 is Neko Reset. The verses in this song are actually really good. I like the 8-bit synths, I like the vocals, it's got a good rhythm. They're actually the best thing on this album so far. Once the chorus hits though, this song starts to go downhill. ZUTOMAYO always goes maximalist, meaning they don't know better than to cut out the 8-bit synth at the chorus, where it just doesn't work. They also try to have instruments following the singer. That doesn't really work for me either. And the icing on the cake, they completely blow it in the last minute or so of this song, where it all just turns into an overdone disaster. The fourth song is Kira Killer featuring... Do I have to review this one? Do I have to do this? Fine. Last time I called VTuber music bad, I got flamed for weeks. Anyway, this is bad. It's featuring Mori Calliope, and I'm gonna get my thoughts on Mori Calliope out now. How is she allowed to make terrible, horrendous music where she rants about cancel culture and wokeness, and not only be allowed to put it out on a major label, but also still be propped up so heavily in the Japanese music scene that she's the only feature on this album? What kind of blackmail does she have on the execs? What is going on? Anyways, yeah, this song is not good. It tries to do rap, both from Mori Calliope and the ZUTOMAYO singer, and they both adopt some of the most basic and generic flows possible. This is the biggest offender on this album when it comes to not needing vocals on every possible second of a song. There can be space. We can all take a collective breath and not have to deal with the 1-2 onslaught of her and Mori struggling to rap. The instrumental on this song is shit, but for different reasons than the others. While those typically are super overproduced pop, this is instead really annoying rock. But despite that, it still uses a lot of the pop elements. It just adds a really unnecessary rock guitar over top, and it sounds terrible. The chorus and hook, typically strengths on this album, are both super annoying here too. This is bad. This shouldn't exist. Frankly, I'm upset that it does. Track 5 is Nareai Serve, which on the surface has some interesting elements, such as the breakbeats. However, I feel like it doesn't really do anything cool with them. For some reason, no part of the song is able to stick in my head. It all goes in one ear and right out the other. It's probably because the instrumental ends up being really simple and droning, and the vocals are mixed in there in a really weird way that just ends up not working. I don't really like this one either. Inside Joke is a song that at first you might think, oh good, they're slowing it down. There's less going on here. This is fine. I mean, it still has the constant rushed vocals, but there's less happening overall. Plus, the chorus melody is actually pretty good. ZUTOMAYO is breaking free from their indulgences. And then you get to the second half of the song. That's where the problems begin. There's a good minute and a half of this song that is just the chorus. An unnecessarily long, super extended chorus, save for like a 10-second brief reprieve in the middle. And the chorus in this song is on the surface good. I like the melody, but when you spam it this many times in a row, it just starts to get annoying. And once that chorus mercifully ends, you are then treated to some more unnecessary rapping straight out of Kira Killer, because every possible second of this album must have her singing for some reason. Track 7, Summer Slack, is finally, thankfully, a much more laid-back affair. It relaxes a lot of the craziness of the first half of the album and takes on more of a tropical, city pop inspired sound. The problem is it just doesn't do this very well. Like, it's fine, but not very memorable. Also, her singing is just kind of annoying here, which really doesn't help. It works pretty well as a change of pace, but I'm not sure if I'd ever actually come back to this. Quilt is the next song, and it's similarly laid back. Not really city pop in any way, but still very chilled out. And would you believe it, it's one of the best songs on the album. The chorus is super catchy. The willingness to not layer 20 things over each other in the instrumental means I can actually tell what's going on. It's also got one of the best melodies on the whole album. I thought it was kind of annoying at first, but the more I listen to it, the more I like it. This is a really good song. And then Intrusion is the 9th song, and it's just Quilt again. Like, these are basically the same song. If you played me both of them back to back and asked me to pick which is which, I would genuinely struggle to. They're both a lot more relaxed, but this one's more of a standard pop song versus Quilt, which leans more towards YOASOBI core. This one is still decent, but I do think it's the weaker song overall, mostly based off having a much weaker chorus and an annoying guitar. The 10th song is Stay Foolish. This song is not good. It's held back by having easily the most annoying chorus on the album. You thought track 6 got bad? This is even worse. The hook here is terrible. The rest of the song follows the same general template as the last two songs, and overall sounds really similar to those, except, again, worse. This is another song that is a nice breakbeat on paper, but somehow manages to make it more annoying than anything else. The random chorus piano is also really annoying, and the overdramatic string bits are completely out of place on this song. Somehow the chorus on this song ends up sounding like there's not enough going on. Her screeching vocals are so prominent that it just makes the bad chorus problem even more evident. It also attempts to lean back into the album's funk themes towards the end, and fails at that too. This is bad. Contrasting that is the best song on this album, Blush. This is great. The funk is done in a smooth way that doesn't sound forced. The singing is pretty good. The chorus is kinda too much here, but the melody is really good, and overall, it mostly works. It kinda reminds me of Vondi's hit, Kaiju no Hanauta. Like, yeah, it's completely overblown, but it's really fun, so I don't care as much. This song is still kinda maximalist at parts, but it knows when to give its elements some space. That chorus definitely gets cluttered, but the singer is able to hold it together well enough. The verses are probably the biggest star here, as they do give some space to her, and she delivers with a great rhythm. I wish they did that more on this album, instead of forcing everything in anywhere they could. I really like this one. And contrasting that is the worst song on the album, Mirror Tune. This is the single worst offender on the entire album in terms of just being really overproduced. Even worse than Kira Killer, which I didn't know was possible. Every element of this song can just be described as too much. The vocals, why are they so frequent? Why is she going so fast? Why are there random kawaii screeches over the cool funk in the beginning? How about the instrumental? Why do the jazz funk parts go in and out so much? much? Why are there several contrasting layers of bass for no reason? What is with the spy movie ass noises towards the middle of the song? What is going on? All good questions I never get an answer to. The annoying part of this is that at its core, I think this song is a pretty good idea. The basic horn bits and singing are pretty good, but there's so much extra stuff that gets chucked in this song, and all of it is actively detracting from my enjoyment. This all climaxes in the random DJ bit around the 3-minute mark, which sounds completely terrible and is one of the worst ideas I've ever heard. This song is ass. It's just so constantly hyper and annoying. It's like a big ass dog that jumps all over you and bites you in the face repeatedly while you're trying to sleep. It needs to stop. The last song is Superficial Me, and it immediately turns me off for having a cool shoegaze riff that it buries in the background because it's too scared to actually commit to it. This would be a really cool shoegaze song, but they don't want to go there. This song ends up just not having an identity because it doesn't actually know what it wants to be. It also doesn't help that the vocals here just suck. It tries to do more of an emotional wind down, but it just ends up being really anemic. They just don't want to commit to any of the actual good ideas on this song, which is kind of a theme for the whole record. There's plenty of good ideas all over Jinkougaku. They just either don't want to commit or drown them in all kinds of bad ideas. That just leaves me with mixed feelings about the album. There's moments here like Blush where ZUTOMAYO shows what they're capable of and it's really cool, but there's also moments like Kira Killer and Mirror Tune where they fail so miserably I want to turn the whole thing off. A lot of these songs have potential. It just doesn't get fulfilled. I'd love to see a version of ZUTOMAYO where they strip it back a bit, maybe commit to the funk more, and do a whole album like that. I think that's where this group could really shine. This is not that at all. I'm gonna end up giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe a 6 if I'm really not feeling it that day. Like, there's good ideas here. They just don't bubble to the surface ever. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, sub, all the fun stuff. Bye!